Hey guys, welcome back to another deck profile. Thank you guys so much for the support on my first video ever with Runic White Forest. I really appreciate it. Anyways, let's hop straight into the deck profile. Today for you guys, I have Gunkan Suship Blind Second. So it's not great. Like, you're not going to be topping any regionals or YCSs or anything with this deck, but this is just kind of more of like a fun, casual deck that I built just to, you know, take a step away from meta and just a deck to enjoy. Anyways, hopping right into it. We're on the 3 vanilla monsters that you play in this deck: Gunkan, Suship, Shari. This card is really important. You need to maximize as many as you can because there's a lot of reveal effects and extra deck monster effects that combo nicely with it. Next up, we have 3 Gunkan Suship Shari Red. This card, when it is in deck, hand, field, and I believe graveyard as well, yeah, it counts as a Gunkan Suship Shari, so it's essentially playing 3 more copies of Shari. And it has a really nice in hand effect where you reveal another Gunkan Suship Shari, so that can be either another copy of the same card or like the vanilla monster, and then you special summon itself and a Gunkan Suship monster from your deck with the same name as one in your extra deck, and then you immediately get to synchro summon all in the same effect. So that's pretty nice to immediately get into your extra deck Gunkan monsters. Next up, we play 3 of Gunkan Suship Uni. Uni is probably the best main deck monster other than Shari. Its in-hand effect is you reveal a Gunkan Suship card in your hand, and then special summon the Uni. And then if you revealed Shari in your hand, you can special summon that as well. And then, so it's a free special summon of 2 bodies, it doesn't use your normal summon. And then the secondary effect's really good as well. You can target one Gunkan Suship monster you control and either change its level to 4 or 5. So you could change this card's level to 4 if you want to go into a rank 4 play, or change the Shari's effect to 5, or the Shari's level to 5, and then go into one of the extra deck monsters. This is also pretty good because what you can do is if you have... Oh, its other effect is if you revealed any other Gunkan Suship monster, you put it on the bottom of the deck. But it's kind of nice if your hand's bricked up, you summon this, and then put the revealed card on the bottom of your deck, and then target itself to make it a 4, and then add a Suship monster from your deck to your hand, or a Shari from your deck to your hand. It also gets that effect anytime it changes the level, so this can help you if you're bricked, and it can also be an extender or a play starter. So it's really really versatile. It's a really good card in this deck. Next up is the slightly weaker monster compared to Uni, is Ikura. And you can special summon it if you control a Gunkan Suship Shari. And then an on-field effect is to reveal the 3 top cards of your deck. And if there's any Suship Sharis there, you can either add them to your hand or special summon them. So depending on where you need them, if you're trying to overlay and make a rank 4 play, you can special summon it and then add it to your hand. And, excuse me, the deck has a couple of ways to stack the top of your deck with Sharis, so that can come into play as well. And next for the one of in the last Gunkan card is Shoryu. I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's a one of because it's not great, and you usually summon it off the Shari Red as just a way to get into your next and to get into one of your Gunkan spell traps. And it's also really good as just kind of like an extender because you can special summon it if you control a Shari or an Xyz monster that mentions Shari. And then its on-field effect is you can special summon a Gunkan monster from your hands, and then immediately after, place any number of Gunkan Suships from your graveyard or deck on top of your deck. So it's a good way to recycle, and it can combo with Ikura to special summon or add to your hand one of the Sharis that are on top of the deck. Next up, we have one of the engines that I'm running in this deck, and that is this super heavy Samurai engine. We are on 2 motorbike. I would suggest replacing the motorbike with Wakaushi's, but I only have 1 copy of Wakaushi's, so I would honestly go to 3 and only play no motorbike at all. And then we're playing the Wakaushi. So basically what Wakaushi does is you can place it in the spell trap, special summon itself by placing another Super Every Samurai monster, as long as you control no spell traps in grave, to place another one and then special summon itself And then you usually go into the Big Benkei, or you always have to. You go into the Big Benkei and then you search for another Super Heavy Samurai soul monster, and you get the Gayu, because what Gayu does is it equips itself to a Super Heavy Samurai monster you control and then special summons itself. So it's just kind of like a free rank 4 play in the deck, and that can be used to go into Exciton Knight if you want to threaten to nuke the field, or just any rank 4 that you really need. Next engine we play is the Adventure engine. So we are on 2 Water Enchanters of the Temple to search your rights, and then the Wandering Griffin Rider Omni Negate as well. Moving on to the spell traps of the deck, we play 3 Gunkan Suship Catch of the Day. This card is really strong as a searcher for your Gunkan cards. Its effect is if you reveal a Shari in your hands and then also reveal to your opponents one of your Gunkans from your extra deck, and you reveal that, and they declare a card name or a Suship name other than Shari that is listed on an XYZ monster, and you get to add that card to your hand. So basically, it's kind of the gimmick of the deck. You get to order something to your hands, essentially. And the only vice I have, or not vice, but like the only downside with this card is if your opponent knows Gunkan things, they can declare a name other than the name revealed on the card. So that can be a little bit of an issue if they know the deck. But a lot of people don't know what Gunkans do. So usually when you reveal a card game 1, you get it to your hands. Next up, we're just on 1 Gunkan Suship Seaside Supper spot. It's not great, but it's a 1-of because it can be searched with one of the extra deck monsters, and it offers protection and a way to stack your deck. Basically, if you summon a Gunkan monster, then you can place a Shari from your deck on top of your deck. So that is a good way to stack your deck. And then if a Gunkan Xyz monster leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, then you can special summon a Shari from hand and then immediately Xyz summon with it. It's not bad, but this is honestly one of the more cuttable cards in the deck. It's just kind of like a safety net, I'd say, for the deck. And then I'm on to the the rest of the Adventure engine. You're on 2 Rite of Aramazirs. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go too much in how the Adventure combo works and stuff like that, because it's pretty simplistic. And one of the Faithful Adventures as well. And then also you're on the Draco back. Moving on to support cards for the deck, I'm on 3 Painful Decision. This is just the way that you get to Shari and stuff like that. So you send a level 4 normal monster from your deck to or lower normal monster from your deck to your graveyard, and then you can add one with the same name. So you could literally just send the vanilla monster and add the Shari red to your hand, because while it's in deck, it shares the same name. So it's essentially just a free search for either of the Sharis that you need in hand. And then onto a little bit of the board breakers, because we are a blind second deck. We are on triple Forbidden Droplet. Self-explanatory. Monster negates. You're playing a blind second deck. You kind of need it. And then we're also on 2 Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster. Also additionally just board breakers. I'm not on Evenly or Dark Ruler no more. It's just you could be on them, but in the spirit of this deck being more of like an OTK knockoff, like Tenpai sort of deck, I just decided not to play those. But you could definitely swap those in depending on what you need to do. If you're looking for a less of an OTK version of the deck, then you could definitely swap those in. And then next off for the OTKing, we have Double or Nothing. And this combos with the Utopia Double in the extra deck to make a massive Utopia and go for a 10,000 attack 1 punch. So this is the idea behind the deck, is to get to the double as fast as possible and basically just swing for game in 1 attack. Additionally, more support cards we're playing is the Called by the Grave. That's pretty self-explanatory. Hand traps or just any monster effect in grave that's annoying, you can just get rid of it. And then Triple Tactics Talent as well, to just push if you need to take control of a monster they control or draw 2 cards. That's usually what I use it for. So yeah, anyways, that's the main deck. And in a second, we're going to just move on to the extra deck. Moving on to the Gunkan Suship extra deck. We have 2 Uniclass Super Dreadnoughts. This card is one of the better Suship extra deck monsters, and when you summon it, it's a level 5, so that takes 2 level 5 monsters. When you summon it, you get to draw, and then it gains the ability to attack directly depending on the materials you use. So all of the Gunkan Suship extra deck monsters, if you use Shari as material, you get to just get a free draw, which is honestly pretty nice to get more gas for the blind second. And then also it can attack directly, which is the secondary effect. And then also people forget about the third effect is once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, so either your main phase 1 or main phase 2, you can target face-up cards on the field and negate their effects equal to the amount of Gunkan Suship Xyz monsters on the field. And this is really good because it permanently negates the effects, not till the end of the turn, permanently. So in Master Duel games, with a very similar build to this deck, I would negate the effects of U-Bell monsters, and then people would try to crash U-Bell monsters, and forgetting that it's permanently negated, and then they take the battle damage. So that's honestly came up. I mean, it was my opponent's mistake, but that came up, and it was really fun. Anyways, moving on to the next one. We play one of the Shiryu class carrier. We only need one of this because it's just a spell trap search, and it's good blanket protection. If there's a face-up card in the field zone, your Gunkan monsters gain attack equal to their defense, so not that much. This one only has 250 defense, and this one has 500 defense, so it's a small attack boost, but they also can't be destroyed by card effects where there's a field spell. So that's pretty nice for the archetype as well. And like I said, if you summon it using the appropriate material, you get to add a Gunkan spell trap to hand. So that can help you extend through things. And then you play 2 Ikura class Dreadnought. This card's probably I don't know about the worst, maybe the worst, debatably with the carrier. It's not one of the better ones, but if it's summoned using the proper materials, the Ikura listed in its name, you get to it can make a second attack during each battle phase, which is really nice for pushing for game. And then also when a Gunkan monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target a card on the field and pop it. So it's not bad. It's not amazing either, but you also get the draw effect like all the Gunkan Suship Xyz monsters if you use Shari, so that's also a plus point. Additionally, we're playing Zeus as well because this man is your board breaker right here. If you have gone to the battle phase, attacked with your Gunkan Suships or your Xyz monsters, and you haven't been able to win in your push, you just go main phase 2, summon this, and then either nuke the board or sit on this until you need to nuke the board. So this has been absolutely clutch in all matchups pretty much. Next off, since we're playing the double or nothing package, we have the Utopia double and the Utopia. Basically you summon the Utopia double using any 2 level 4 monsters, and you detach a material to search for a double or nothing and then rank up into a Utopia, and the Utopia gains its attack is doubled, so it puts it up to 5,000. And then you go battle phase, swing into a Utopia, or swing into one of their monsters because you can't attack directly. Use Utopia's effect to negate, and then activate the double or nothing, allowing for a second attack in the battle phase and to double its attack. So it'd go up to 10,000, and you just swing in and hopefully win the game from that. Additionally, some level 4 monsters that we're playing. Rank 4 monsters that we're playing. We're on the Dugaris. This is honestly, I haven't made a lot, but sometimes when you're using the Super Average Samurai engine and you need to make a rank 4 and maybe churn through your deck a little bit for cards, I make that. For that, also, it's kind of good to double the attack on one of the monsters you control. So you could do that on, if you're crazy, you could do it on the Utopia. And then you could do it on your Gunkan Suship monsters. So that can come up sometimes as well. But I usually use it for the draw effect. Moving on, Daigusto Emerald's one of in the deck as well. Because you go through your Gunkan Suship Sharis so fast that in the grind game, you need the Emerald to be able to recycle your Sharis. And that's pretty much the only reason you play it. But also, it has the effect to detach material and target a non-effect monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So that can come up to get a Shari on field sometimes. Next off, we have Exciton Knight. Honestly, this is just, I play this as an initial board breaker. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. You go second, you get into the Exciton Knight and try to nuke the field. I usually use Exciton Knight to bait out negations and stuff like that, or nuke the field if it resolves, so it's pretty effective. And then we have Abyss Dweller as well, and Dweller can be really nice against the U-Bell matchup because you can just summon him with the Super Every Samurai package or any 2 other level 4s that you get on board. And just make sure that there's no float effects from any of the monsters that you destroy. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Bell monsters don't get their float effects, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of iffy. It also helps if your opponent makes you go first and you have like a secondary option. Speaking of secondary options, we play 1 Baguska as well. This is just for stalling and stuff like that. If you run out of gas, and it's kind of a last resort card, you just slap it down in defense mode and negates all the effects. So, stall card, not too bad. Try not to make it because that means I'm losing the game. And then the One of Link monster we play just in case we run into something like a D-Berry or something like that, which D-Berry completely destroys this deck. It's pretty much unplayable if you get D-Berried. But we play it's also for towers as well. You play one of the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, which is also pretty self-explanatory, you know. Link off with one of your opponent's monsters. And so it's like a board breaker / towers beater. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my YouTube video, and I'll catch you in the next one.